Guys, today's WFM question is a question which usually been asked in interviews uh, for a WFM roles, and we have a very less rate of percentage of people who are able to give the appropriate or the complete answer. The question is that while the shift planning schedules factors the SL targets by using Erlang, the voice setup, or wherever the SL targets are below certain limits, you can use Erlang to calculate that one. However, in the long term planning, because that's more of a workload calculation, which of the lever as an input factors this SL targets? I think most of the people know it. The answer to that is occupancy. However, it's the question is slightly more detailed, that how do we define those occupancies for the different program. Most of the people answer during those interviews to us that this has been driven by the organization. We factor flat 85%, and we use a flat 85% for all the weeks. That's the response what we get. uh, so I think today's discussion is how do we define that what should be our occupancy. Will it be same for the program where the volumes is in millions or in lakhs, or where the volumes are in hundreds or thousands? Answer to that is primarily from my side, and I think it's more of a knowledge enhancements what we are doing, and I'm happy to get corrected if anybody wishes to add any point here. Occupancies are primarily an outcome of a volume, trend, operational hours, number of headcount you carry, your SL targets, and various other parameters, which means it has to be modeled. It is not that you randomly pick up a number and put it as a occupancy, and that's what I've seen during a couple of my years of experience, that capacity planners usually put a number and they carry that number, and then when it has been asked from where have you got this number, this is the way it has been communicated to us, that this is the numbers. That's not the right approach, right? The right approach is that you look for the information, or you do a modeling to find out at what volume, with whatever the labor compliances you have to meet, the demographic compliances you have, or the challenges you have, number of shifts you operate, operational hours, you figure out that what is the utilization or the occupancy I will be operating at. With the increase of volume, the occupancy increases. With the reduction in your service time, the occupancy drops. Correct. So with the increase in the volume, it is directly proportional. It will increase considering all other parameters remain constant. Whereas if my service targets are being revised to the lower side, my occupancies will drop. So I think that's what the today's discussion was. That how do we model it? Now to model this, we take a volume, and then we do a baselining study, or if in case you have the historical data, you do the baselining and the modeling of those information, and then you do a regression modeling on that as well, which will automatically factor if there's an increase in the volume, how much it will impact in terms of the utilization, positively or negatively, and that has to be added. If you guys have any further question on this, you can drop a question to me, and I'll certainly come back with a response from my side, or I'll connect with some industry leaders to get to the response on that. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.